Let's talk just a little bit about curly brackets. So this is a curly bracket, and you can see I've got an opening and a closing curly bracket. These two go together. If you ever have a program and you just have one curly bracket that's not closed, that program will not compile, that program will not run. Same thing with square brackets. If I have one square bracket and I don't have a closing square bracket somewhere to match it, that program's not going to run. Parentheses are the same way. You have to have a closing parenthesis, otherwise it screws up your whole program. That's why it's a very, very, very good idea that whenever you create an opening curly bracket, that you should automatically create a closing curly bracket, then back into it and write whatever you want within there. If you have other IDEs, integrated development environments, besides BlueJ, they will automatically close that curly bracket for you, so you don't even have to type it. That's how important these curly brackets are. With BlueJ, they allow you to make the mistake and leave them out. And that causes new programmers all kinds of problems. Also, whenever you end a curly bracket, I always put some kind of note, 2 forward slashes is a note, that tells what that ending curly bracket's for. For example, if I'm going to create a class definition, I'll create a class called program, and then I have my opening and closing curly brackets, which will hold my entire program. And I'm going to do a little note end class, and I could even put end class program, although end class is probably fine. And then I'll back into it and put my code in there. Notice how everything's color coded. It's green and beautiful. That's nice. Here I'm going to put a main method, public static void main, string args, and I'm going to put some other curly brackets at the end of that. Now you'll notice that I now have a yellow area, assuming you're not colorblind, but this is where our white space really comes in. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this code and hit tab, and when I hit tab, boom, tab. That moves everything over to the right, and you can now see that I've got a green band that's surrounding the entire main method. We can see that the class program encapsulates the main method, that the main method is nested within the class program. That's nice, and it saves me a lot of problems. Here at the end, I'm going to go ahead and put another end main, so I know that that curly bracket, what it does. So we might have some while statements. These while statements are going to have opening and closing curly brackets. I'll put a / end while. And it doesn't matter if you misspell or capitalize or what do you do on these notes. But just by having it there, here I got some white space I don't need. I can get rid of that. Get everything color coded. I can just come over to a programmer's computer, look at the colors and see if what they're doing is correct. Here I've got an if statement. If statement's going to have curly brackets as well. Down at the end, and if. So every time you open a curly bracket, close it. Every time you open a parenthesis, close it. Anytime you open a bracket, close it. And put a note at the end of every curly bracket to say what it is. This will save you so much time if you find yourself in a place called curly bracket hell. Curly bracket hell is where there's a curly bracket missing and you don't know where it is. Curly bracket hell will usually not give you nice colors. But if I got rid of this, that curly bracket, now I can see pretty clearly that there's a big white space down here and something's missing. If I use my white space correctly and I indent using tabs, I get this nice color-coded code that'll really make it easier for me to detect errors, especially curly bracket errors. Okay.